Hi, my name's Jacalynne Flax. Most people know me from the Jactress channel because of my passion for the memory of the late Princess Diana and my comedy about the current Princess of Wales, otherwise known as the Duchess of Cornwall, whatever else we want to call her. But I want to talk to you today about me and living with multiple sclerosis, which I've had for about 30 years. And I've had to sort of like include it as part of my life because it's been more of my life. You know, I don't really remember what my life was like really without it because I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Anyway, and how I incorporated multiple sclerosis into my life. When I first had it, it didn't really affect me. I was dancing and all that other stuff. And then as I developed, as I got a bit older and the progression of the disease started to show itself a bit more, I was doing Shirley Valentine on the stage, and my balance was not brilliant, and I would ask people if they noticed that, you know, I was a bit wobbly and blah blah, and they said, well, we thought that you were drinking, because we noticed that, you know, I'm drinking wine, because that's what you do when you play Shirley Valentine. You likes to drink wine, you know, and talk to the wall. So I was doing a lot of drinking wine, but obviously it wasn't wine, it was cranberry juice. And I said, but they said, well, you were acting drunk. And actually, no, actually it was MS. And then it kind of like got worse, and then I started with YouTube, and my drunkenness sort of like transfigured itself, and the shakes and everything, and so it sort of really worked well for playing Camilla, because she is you know, allegedly a real drunk with the DTs and the shakes. And actually, you know, you can see it in all my Camilla spoofs. I sort of like utilized having the MS shakes, and it's in all my Camilla spoof things, because no, it's not the DTs, it's MS. And so that's kind of how I sort of like incorporated having MS and turning it into a reason to laugh. Now, I know that MS isn't funny, and I don't expect anybody to sit at home and say, oh, well, MS, I'm not one bit bloody funny. I know it's not funny. I lived with it for 30 years, and it's kind of like this bizarre illness that you look fine, and everybody says, well, you look fine, but you're not fine. You know, it's kind of like, it's, you know, it comes from the brain. And anyway, I started, because of YouTube, it sort of like took me into thinking about how I could use the comedy, the humour, and the Jactress channel, and I started my own website. You can exercise with MS, and that's U, with the big U, not Y-O-U, and so check it out, and there's a little bit of Diana stuff there, and there's a booklet all about sort of diet and here we go, diet and proteins and vitamins and all ways and all things that you know, just suggestions, because I'm not a doctor, as you know. I'm just somebody that's lived with it, and I know what's worked for me, what hasn't worked, so I'm just coming from a place of knowledge of just living with it. So none of these are saying you should, they're just sort of recommendations. And the other thing, there's a little sort of like CD, DVD about how you can exercise, and I really think the biggest thing that people with multiple sclerosis really need is to, particularly if you're in the beginning stages of relapsing and remitting, is to stay out of a wheelchair. That's what you need to do. You need to keep walking. You know, if you go to my, when I go see the princess, but you know, Kensington, and you can see me walking with my stick. I mean, I hate that stick. I hate that stick, but anyway, my friend Alexandra, who does my blogs, she bought it for me, and everyone's like, wow, what a great stick, and we bought it from the 99-cent store, and you know, and I tell people it's fallen so many times, because I've fallen so many times, and now it's got a design all of its own, sort of like, you know, and people go like, wow, it looks really interesting. Anyway, but anyway, the thing to do is to stay out of a wheelchair, stay mobile, and as long as you can. I mean, I know that people do really well with the drugs. I personally couldn't take them, but nobody knows how much damage they do, or how expensive they are, and the injecting them every day is horrible, because I did try them for a bit. They didn't agree with me. So just keep your body strong, even if you do the drugs every day. And this is a great way to find that out. Anyway, I'm going to have a blog. Well, I'm doing a blog now, but I'm going to kind of like put a blog whole site on my channel, because I know there's a lot of blogs out there where people talk about living with MS and all the different things. So it's quite an isolating disease. That's another thing I found out about it. And people have a problem sort of because they don't know enough, so they like to listen to people who've had it, and so that they can find out more, because doctors really don't know that much. Anyway, so I think probably I've said enough, and just go to youcanexercisewithms.com, and let's hopefully put up a nice interesting blog so that people can talk, and Camilla will keep drinking and I will keep making comedy. Okay.